Okay, now let's just see what is allowed and what is not allowed while using generics. So if I do something like this, say list of animal less equal to new array list of animal which is allowed, then I just add to the list ls.add. Say I add new cat, and cat is a subclass of animal. Then also I add ls.add new dog. Dog is again subclass of animal. So this is allowed, so this will work fine, and even this will work. But what is not allowed is this. So suppose we have a method, say insert animal. The syntax may not be correct, I'm just writing to give an example. So let's say array list of animal, it takes an argument of array list of animal ls, and say now we try to add here something like say ls dot add new dog, then this will not be allowed under all circumstances, so it will be allowed only sometimes. And also we can't pass to this particular function, this method, we can't pass array list of dog, although it is dog is subtype of animal. This particular structure we can't pass it as an argument to insert animal. So why is this not allowed? This is not allowed because basically it's dangerous to pass collection of subtype to collection of supertype. So in this case the argument that method is taking is array list of animals, and we are trying to pass say array list of dogs. So this can lead to incorrect addition to array list of animals if we are in the method going to add something to array list. And why is this incorrect from point of view of compiler? Because compiler does not have the type information at the runtime, so it does not know what is the type of this particular array list. So if this array list is of any other type, then that particular object might get added to this particular array list if we are performing addition operation in the method which is taking array list as the array list of animals as the argument. So only array list of animals will be allowed to be passed. So it is valid to pass array list of animal to the method taking array list of animal as a parameter. So this is not allowed. So how can we solve this? How to solve this problem where we want to pass a list of subtype to method which takes list of supertype? What is the solution for this? So the solution for this is to define the method in such a way, to declare the method in such a way that it can take any of the subtypes of animal as the argument. So for example, say insert animal, and then we have a list of animals, extends animal, and then we say ls. So if you see this, there is a question mark there. So question mark is nothing but you can say a wild character here. So which means that this particular method can take any particular object which extends animal. So this has the capability to can pass any list that has type which extends animal, or a list that has type which implements the interface of animals. So here animal can also be thought of as an interface, and if our type whichever we are passing as an argument to this particular method, if it is implementing this interface, then that is also valid. So you can take any subtype of animal or a type that implements the interface after this particular keywords extends, which in our case is the interface animals. So there is no syntax adds such as implements. So invalid syntax for implements is, let's say, list of wild character implements animal. So this is an invalid syntax. This will not work because the keyword extends is used to achieve both of these effects, that is to pass a list of type which extends animal or to pass a list of type which implements animal interface. So this was what the valid syntax we saw in the last slide. So now let's do this. Let's add something to this list. So let's add say new dog here. Will this work? So the answer for this is no, it won't work, and there is a reason for that. So you cannot modify the list if you are passing list of this particular type. So we actually cannot add if we are using wild character extending some class. So in short, we are saying to the compiler that we will not add anything to the collection. We will just use collection to retrieve the data. So if we add this thing, then it will throw a compilation error, and it will say that you cannot find symbol. So basically it will say give an error message saying this particular animals.add method has an error. So it will give me runtime compile time exception. Cannot add. Now there is one more scenario where you can do this, that is you can use the wildcard and at the same time add to the list. And this scenario, let's write a method for this scenario, animal, and say list of wildcard, and now this time we will say super dog. superdog ls. So if you define the method in such a way, and then if you try to add ls.add say new dog, then this will work perfectly fine. And this is straightforward because we are adding dog to a list of dogs. Now what does this mean? Question mark super dog. So it means that we are instructing compiler to accept any list which has generic type and is type of dog, or a super type of dog, or so nothing which is lower in inheritance than dog will be accepted. So dog or its super types will be accepted. So this is what makes it work. Let's look at generics for method. We can also use generics with methods. So suppose that you want to create a method that takes some kind of class, instantiates say a list of that particular type, and adds an object of that class to the list. Then how will you do that? So the answer is here is generic method. So how to declare the generic method? So the declaration of generic method will go like this. Say the scope public, and then this is the generic type. So generic type will always come before the return type of method. Then we'll have say void and say create list, and this particular method will take again t as a type, and small t is a reference of type capital T. So this is how we define the method with generics. Just make sure here that we know that t is not a return type here. So the return type of method is in fact void, and we are using t because that is how you have to declare a method. So if you want to pass t as a parameter, then you should have t as a generic type presented before the return type of method. Now in the same fashion like we did using extends keyword, we can actually limit the values that we are passing to method. So let's say we just want to pass numbers to this particular method which are of type t. Then we will do, we'll declare it like this, say t extends number, and the rest of the declaration will remain same, create list of type t and reference t. So this is how we can restrict the values that are being passed to the method taking generic type as parameter. So we'll just try to recollect whatever we learned. So first, generics help us to enforce compile time type safety. Compile time type safety is used when generics come into picture, and we can declare classes and methods of generic type parameters. Then also no generic type information exists at runtime. In fact, we also would like to make one more point here, that if we try to use generic and non-generic type, non-generic, that is raw types together, it might throw runtime exceptions. Please neglect the spelling mistakes. And after that, so wildcard syntax, as we saw. So wildcard syntax in generics, which is extends and which is question mark, is the wildcard that we use to accept subtypes for subtypes, sub or supertypes. And then we saw extends keyword, which is used to let compiler know that we may pass either class that extends the type T or that implements the interface of type T. So same keyword extends is used in this case to signal that we will be using either to pass the class that extends T or that implements T. There is no keyword such as implements to be used with generics. Then we have one more keyword that we saw, which is super, which is used to let compiler know to accept all the types which are super types of this particular class. So it does not accept anything below in the hierarchy level, it just accepts the parent classes. So this is pretty much it. And then we at last saw the using generics with method. So generics with method, where we saw that we have to specify T before return type of method, and T is not the return type but the type of parameter that we are passing to the method. So that's pretty much it.